Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. And in the last episode, guys, we had a very bittersweet experience. We took a job for a scavenger named Alma, who was in the middle of salvaging an asteroid and got stranded, and we went and helped her out and discovered that she was actually scavenging and salvaging things from her home, her previous home. And she seemed like a very lost soul, with a ship that she had spent a bunch of time kind of doing everything possible to keep her running, much like herself. And Sleeper saw a lot of kind of a kindred spirit in that. But our business here on Flotsam is now done, and we need to go ahead and get out of here because we're 3 here on the lane meter. So let's go ahead and travel here across the way. We're going to be spending 8 fuel and heading here to Helion Gate. Flotsam has treated us very well. Helion Gate hangs over the rig. Its corroded arches resemble the dislocated vertebrae of some vast, long-dead serpent. That's one big, ugly scrap pile. Seraphin whistles from the pilot's seat. Solheim didn't like to build them small. What was it for? Seraphin shakes his head. System's biggest door. Only opened if you asked nicely. Got to be big if you want to fit every ship that visits the system through it. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Impressive, really, building something so massive out here. Solheim liked to impress visitors, sure. Seraphin leans forward, looking for the best place to enter the structure. But they also like to scan entire ships and impound those that didn't enter through the gate. Seraphin catches your eye, looking for some agreement. Not the most admirable qualities. Seems pretty impressive to me. Seraphin shakes his head. Gotta say, I'm surprised to hear a Sleeper impressed by corporate infrastructure. Don't let him bait you, Sleeper. Bliss rolls their eyes. Solheim were cruel and ruthless, but without them, the system would just be 2 gas giants and a load of rocks. No harm in recognizing it. You look out of the cockpit towards the gate. Its layers of systems and rooms slowly opening to the void, peeling away cycle after cycle to reveal the bones underneath. This is where Jean-Min mentioned you might be able to find the location of a ship with a prime ship mind, among the old shipping manifest and Solheim records. You look over the towering structure of the gate. This is going to take some work. Suddenly, a flash high up on the gate catches your eye, a light turning on and off again for a moment. You lose track of it. Is this place inhabited? Seraphin raises an eyebrow. I doubt it. He winks and smiles. You hoping for a station-side bar? I have a feeling you'll be disappointed, unless we find an executive's old liquor cabinet. Bliss pats you on the shoulder and drifts out of the cockpit. Time to see what secrets the gate has left. Ooh, okay, so it's uninhabited, but there is like a little... Oh, there's the light. Oh, that's not... Oh, there's multiple lights. That's disconcerting. So we got Solheim records. There's nothing up here. Oh, that's kind of cool that we could go all the way around. See if there's anything else that catches our fancy. Alright, standard stuff. We got the Customs Hall, Abandoned Solheim Checkpoint, and Solheim Records, pre-collapse shipping manifests. Let's try in here first. Once the main checkpoint for entry into the entire Helion system, the Helion Gate, lies dark and broken, but it's not without its secrets. Scan the hall, explore the corridors. Once a bustling entry point, the Customs Hall was abandoned after the collapse. With some careful analysis, you can find what was left behind. So that's interface, which is not our strong suit. And then we got dark corridors lead off into the abandoned facility. With no map and no one to guide you, picking a direction and following it is the only option. And what do we have here in the records room? Power up the archive. One way to get the data you need from the archive is to power up the whole machinery of it, a daunting engineering task. And extract the records. Slower than turning on the entire archive, selectively extracting records is the safer and slower method to get what you need. Identifying a ship with a viable ship mine means pouring through the records of Solheim shipping lanes. Well, that is definitely what we are spec'd for, so let's go ahead and do this. And let's get halfway done through these, maybe? And see if we can do the same up here. Because I bet this is going to, like, unlock other areas. Navigating the corridors is exhausting, but you begin to get a sense of the layers of this place. Oh, that unlocks something new. Okay, keep going. There are signs everywhere that, despite being long abandoned, you are not the only visitor to the Helion Gate. Seized cargo. Endure. A mess of confiscated cargo stretches off into the darkness. The sight instills some fear. Perhaps there's still something here, yet to be picked clean. And derelict fuel barge. More enduring. This shattered, jagged old barge once carried a fleet's worth of fuel. With care and time, you may be able to scavenge some of it for your ship. Well, we have got enough to try one negative to clear this out, so let's see if we can do it. Ooh! After spending some time here, you're convinced you're not alone. But how to find the gate's residence? Gate structure, internal workings. Cut away the scrap requires endurance. Most of the gate is corroded beyond use, but deep in the structure you can still find good metal. Data scrapping. The gate's networks collapsed long ago, but there's data to be found in the old terminals and servers inside the structure. So this looks like just a way to get coin, perhaps. So let's go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to have the crew salvage fuel right now, since there's no really odd jobs to be found. And this is made the first time that we're actually having to use some of our supplies. So let's make a meal. Good, good, good. And we definitely have some dice to play around with here. Let's continue looking through the records. We'll have that done here in one turn. The archive is coming online. You watch as terminals light up in the dark. You hear something in the dark. In the dark and airless void of the archives, something flickers. You've been working in the dark, picking through the guts of corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now, with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All along the rows of benches, some of them crushed by falling ceiling panels, terminals begin into uneasy life. A cacophony of distorted sounds accompany the machines, as some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? You stand frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories, tracing a web around you in a pale cyan. Suddenly, they all shut off, the terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And then that dim room, drifting towards you out of the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you're looking for? The voice crackles aggressively through your suit's local comms. Who are you? Wait, Sleeper? Is that you? You hear Junie's voice now, tense and unsure. She stops beside the single online terminal, her suited form lit in the pale light. Junie! You hear the smile in her voice.
Good to see you again.
She pauses and glances around.
Though the venue is a little unexpected.
What are you doing here?
I'm searching these archives too, although slightly less forcefully than you. I did have this whole speech prepared for whatever salvager was ripping through these archives so messily, not to mention aggressively, but now that I know it was you, well, I'm just glad to see you. Although you really need to be more careful. You could have taken the entire archive down the way you were working with it. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a scrap pile. I saw the pattern of your queries. A prime shipmind-equipped ship, still operational at the collapse, last located in the region around Helion Gate.
You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here.
That about right?
Nicely done. She nods.
Would you expect anything else? That's why I did the hard work for you.
Junie beckons you over to the lone, lit-up terminal. You drift over and see a single point, a faded transit gate trail beside it, sunward from the Helion Gate.
Something like this, maybe?
She smiles and steps aside so you can see the screen. You check the info pane beside the map. Shipmind in use, abandoned by all hands after the collapse. Tantalizingly in reach.
Something like that.
She shrugs.
Well then, it's yours.
But Junie turns, and in the glow of the terminal, meets your eye with complete seriousness.
The question is, what do you want it for?
You know what? Let's go ahead and just tell her flat out. Explain about your body. You tell her what John Mean told you, about your shifting body, transformed by some unknown influence, about the need for a prime ship mind to house your emulated mind while he runs a diagnostic process. She's silent for a moment, unsure how to respond.
I'm sorry, Sleeper, but I think I can help you. I want to come with you.
Junie gives you a strong look.
Do you know how often someone gets out of one of those old Solheim wrecks? They're more trouble than they're worth. But contained inside, there's an entire history to uncover.
I need that ship mind.
And you're welcome to it.
She pauses.
I promise to help you get what you need, and not to get in your way.
Okay, hopefully it's not a fool me once, fool me twice situation.
I know I can't force you or trick you into taking me. That's why I wanted to offer you this instead.
She indicates the terminal, still showing the ship's final resting place.
I hope that maybe, if I helped you find what you needed, it would show I can be trusted.
I trust you. She smiles.
Thank you for saying so. I'll send the coordinates to your ship. I'll be hanging around the gate until you're ready to leave.
She shifts in front of the terminal and plugs in her deck, tapping away at rapid speed.
If you need to get supplies from the spindle or anything else, fine.
She folds her arms.
I'll wait. But if you go on this job without me, I'll get the message.
She shrugs.
You won't see me again.
With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data as you ascend back to Helion Gate's upper levels. New local crew, huzzah! Okay, so we basically have the ability to grab some stuff if we need it. Good metal. Data. I would like to find... Actually, the question is, via the map, how far is this? It's going to take all of our fuel to get there. Uh-oh. So we basically need to grab fuel. And maybe at least one supply. Can we? If we can get a really good dice, we can rock that out. But all of this is endure. Ugh. Not looking nice for us. Oh well. I think fuel is our primary issue. Okay, 2 fuel. Stellar. Keep it going. And we're just gonna keep on trying. Okay, there's 8 fuel. That should be good, and then we can travel. So here, let's go ahead and eat. Now we need to grab supplies from what's left. Now let's source supplies instead of scavenging the fuel. One place where money, like, means nothing in the grand scheme. It's interesting. Alright, good, good, good. We got some good dice to play around with, hopefully. So, seized cargo. This will get us our one last thing of food. Okay. Good, good, good. Just making preparations as best we can. We've got interface. That'd actually be less. I'm kind of curious what this data is. You find some solid-state storage that is yet to be consumed by bit rot. Oh, more Solheim data. Did not know what to expect. Okay. So, here is what I think we will do. Let's go ahead and try our best to get 2 more fuel. This is going to hurt us. Yep. I know, we're starving. We were just trying. So, eat some food. And we're still sourcing supplies. Cool. That should get us, keep us up with that, yeah. Then we have 5. Now we can go get ourselves some fuel and be full up, maybe. Possibly. Okay, now we're in good shape. Ready to take on the day. And just as the lane meter was starting to get a little bit spicy. Is there anything else we want to go ahead and try? Just scrap and interface? Well, waste not, want not. Ooh, all that sweet, sweet Solheim data. Alright. So, flew a little too close to the sun there. Imagine that. And we can't source supplies now, so we're going to be a little bit low in terms of our supplies, which is not ideal. But we're just going to go ahead and, well, actually, do I dare? No, I don't. I think we can do this in 4, and if we starve a little, we starve a little. To the map. Ship mined wreck. In order to run a full diagnostic on your system, Jean-Mi needs a ship mind. The Solheim wreck, abandoned during the collapse, is your best shot. Let us confirm. And who are we taking? We're definitely going to take... We can take everybody. So you are... Bliss is intuition and repair. That is what I have. So it's probably best to have Yu Jin here as our backup while we have the skills that Bliss would normally have. So let's go ahead and travel. Hopefully that's the right call. We are confirming the crew. We're too far sunward, sleeper. Seraphin turns back in his chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard not to agree. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of Helion Gate, and almost out of the belt completely, into the soft, rubble-strewn transition with the Helion system, to the edge of Conway-controlled space.
That's why this ship is likely to be untouched.
Junie surveys the wreck coldly.
It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into. And now with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site.
Stay silent. Why does that not reassure me in the slightest?
Any drone signals?
Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphin flicks a few switches. We should assume they're out there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light, blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphin. He's seen it too. We better get to it, sleeper. Seraphin begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly.
From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest.
Junie unclips too.
So as long as we're quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator. Just automated search sweeps.
With no weapons, I'd say we're screwed either way. Eugen shoots you a wink. I'd say better not to be seen. Right, sleeper? He gets up out of the corner seat and glides toward the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need this ship mind. So no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. That's bold to assume. Isolated wreck. Okay. Explore the ship. Alright, tracing the ship mind. And there's the Conway alert. The record showed this ship had a ship mind installed, but you'll need to find where. Explore the ship. Starting up network architecture might bring unwanted attention, while exploring in person is likely to keep your crew undetected. And some of the ship's network architecture still functions. Accessing map data from it will help you explore the wreck. So let's go... I know she's a +5. Oh, no, it's just +1. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Go for it, Junie. Prove yourself. Junie! Extracted data is a little more than noise. This place is a ruin. Alright, we'll do it our way. Slowly but surely, routes are tracked to the ship. It won't be too much longer until the ship mind is located. Okay, good. I also realized that I had one stress that I probably should have slept for. And... I'll tell you what, doubling up on the intuition, I think, really helped us, all things considered. And... let's just do it. Because I know there'll be other stuff. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, well, fine. We're finally gonna be losing dice, so at least we've got that going for us. And we can't recover stress while on contract. This one might be a failure, guys. Oh, and we're broken. One of your dice is broken due to losing all its dice health. Broken dice can be repaired at the rig for a cost once the workshop is available. Here's the workshop, but I can't do it because we're on the job. So we are on... okay, we've got to get this done quick. Junie, let's go ahead and be cool here. There we go. And 2 more ought to do it. See, like, Eugen has nothing that we currently need. Alright, we got it. We have more stress, but it's okay. You've located the ship mine cradle. Time to extract it. Junie leads you deep into the wreck, through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over your suit, Junie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height but raised on a complex pedestal in which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth with glinting, severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls or twist and curve out of sight.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Junie stares at the prime ship mind, the stars reflected in her faceplate.
Not bad.
Junie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks, softly, her voice carried through the suit comms.
These cables lead off into every one of the ship systems. Engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. ShipMind has hardwired access to them all. When an old ship like this was running well, the ShipMind would distribute itself, some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It'd be less like a single governing mind and more like a load of systems clumped together to form a complex, living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being. A plant with incredibly rapid processing power and much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slotting a translucent screen onto the top edge of her deck. Let's see here.
Junie's screen fills with bright, scrolling data.
Incredible. There's so much here.
She hits a few keys.
I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need.
You watch as Junie starts rapidly tapping at her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she's extracting. Let's wait for her to notice and see. You wait quietly in the ruined chamber, watching the stars through the ripped roof. You can understand Junie's insatiable curiosity. These wrecks are incredible. Junie suddenly snaps out of her trance.
Oh, right. Where were we? The ShipMind. Let me check. As I thought. So, like I was saying, the protocols inside the ShipMind are distributed. So when the ShipMind is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in this unit.
She places a hand gently on the cylinder.
As in the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship's systems nodes.
She taps a few keys.
Which is a problem.
Why does it matter?
If we rip this thing out now with parts of its protocols elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter that we're going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. The mind inside the ShipMind will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocols will be sent right back into the ShipMind here, and we can take it out clean.
How do we find the nodes?
We either ask the cradle very nicely, or we spend the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead.
I've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through on comms, urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, it's time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the ShipMind. Suddenly, a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, and then fades. You take a breath. Too close. Conway drone. Oh, excuse me. That's Junie.
Conway drone,
Junie whispers.
Sniffing the network.
We're clear. Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all of the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum.
Understood.
Junie cuts in.
But we need to access the networks to get this ShipMind out quickly.
Then I hope you're feeling lucky. There's a click as Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the ShipMind, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This isn't going to be easy. Ooh, and I think we are in such bad shape right now, guys. With our stress levels. Okay, we've got some heavy-duty endurance. We've got hacking is good, but Junie is not really up to the challenge here. Whew. Alright. So, I actually am glad that we got Yujin here. I don't know what's going to happen here, guys. I think we're going to break a lot of dice, and it's not going to be good, but it's a good place to go ahead and call it an episode. When we get back, we'll see if we can get out of this mess. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.